Chuck the other night chanting street meat. He's looking forward to getting some of those vendors in the city. Please don't stand on signs and fall down. You still got 4 more wins to get. Keep your poise. Y'all are New York City. As for how the Knicks get to the finals for the first time since '99, that was when they knocked off the Pacers in a Game 6, which tied in the fourth quarter. 32 from Allen Houston and 20 from Spree. New York would fall to the Spurs in the finals. Could be a rematch. 99 finals came 5 years after they lost to Houston in 94. The last title team was 73. Bill Bradley, Walt Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed led the Knicks over a Lakers team that included the logo Jerry West and the legend Wilt Chamberlain. Knicks clinched in Game 5 on the road. The 26 squad has already made some history of its own with some sweeps in the last 2 series. The first time the franchise has ever had multiple sweeps in a single postseason, even including the best-of-5 format earlier in the playoff years. They've won 11 in a row. They've won 6 straight on the road, all by at least double digits. Kendrick Perkins is with us in the building. And about the level of dominance they're showing, not just winning. I mean, they're putting people to bed early. What are they showing, and is it changing your perception of who they are this postseason?
Well, they're showing me that they're a team that's together, and they have the it factor, Scott. And to all the people out there in the world that's thinking that, hey, the winner out of OKC and the Spurs is going to be one of the teams that's going to win an NBA championship, they're lying, and the truth is nowhere near. Because the Knicks have a legit shot at winning the NBA championship. They're deeper than the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean combined. And when you look at their roster, when you look at their leader in Big Body Brunson, he's growing right in front of our eyes. He's able to get his and make others around him better. Karl Anthony Towns is looking like the best big man outside of Wembanyama in the NBA on both ends of the floor. And you know what the most important thing that the Knicks have?
What's that?
Two-way players. Yeah. And OKC showed us last year that you need two-way players in order to win the NBA championship. The Knicks have OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Landry Shamet, and Mikal Bridges. So all of those guys are capable of defending at a high level and putting the ball in the basket.
I just asked Kat something I'm going to ask you because you've lived it. When you haven't lived it, and now it's the finals, is it difficult, Perk, to just the outside noise and whatever it is you're feeling, it's got to be difficult to flush it and focus on what you're doing because it's just a game, but it isn't.
Scott, you have to find that balance. And it's almost to the extent of, like, you know, when a guy first time fighting Floyd Mayweather in Vegas, you know, they get caught up in the moment. And Floyd already won the fight before he stepped in the ring. It's the same stage, similar when you step into the NBA Finals. The team that's happy just to be there is the team that's going to go home as a loser. But if you go there, you find that balance beforehand to come in and say, you know what? Okay, we soak it in media day. Let's get in between these lines, and all of a sudden again, and you stay true to who you are and continue to win the game between the lines, then you'll be fine.
I wouldn't ask Kat this because no disrespect, but he never could be honest. If I say, has your opinion of yourselves changed? Has your belief grown? What's he going to say? Yeah, we didn't think we could before we played Atlanta, but now we do. But I have to think, when you play at this high a level for a month and a half in the playoffs, you have to view yourselves differently. Do you think that that's something that's happening in New York right now?
Absolutely. And what happened is that we saw growth in that Atlanta series. We saw guys find themselves and guess what? Lose themselves in the team. Because now all of a sudden we're watching a Knicks team that's playing agenda-free basketball. They don't give a damn who's getting the shine. We're watching Karl Anthony Towns take that step of being a defender. We're watching Jalen Brunson take a step of playing off the ball, playing on the ball, right? And all of a sudden, Mikal Bridges, who was catching a lot of heat from a lot of New Yorkers, including our friend Stephen A. Smith, all of a sudden he found himself in that moment. And Mike Brown did a hell of a job of sticking with him.
Mike Brown, the Sacramento Fire? That Mike Brown?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking.
You know they can't get right.
That's another story for another day. Maybe Philly was worn out from the Boston series. Maybe Cleveland was worn out from the Detroit series and the first series with, Orlando played Detroit. Who did they play? Toronto. It feels like 3 years we were in the playoffs. Maybe that was it. Or maybe New York's just playing it at this level right now. As for Cleveland, their series comes to an end, and it comes to an end by getting swept on their home floor. Donovan Mitchell on what happened.
I mean, y'all asked me 1,000 times if we were tired. I can't tell you yes. But, I mean, we did this to ourselves, and that's not an excuse. They're a hungry team. They beat us, swept us. So I don't want to diminish that. But we didn't give ourselves a chance because we didn't have no business. And I told them guys in the locker room, I said, now we know. Like, for a lot of us who've never been here, you can't play with your food. We had an opportunity to close both series and give ourselves some rest. You got to be able to give yourself a chance. And we had an opportunity in game one, and then we blew that. So the two series before, having to go 7, and it's our fault. Like, we did that to ourselves.
You know, it's just an unfortunate situation. You know what I mean? Like, any team coming off a tough two series against two defensive monsters, it would have been challenging. And I don't necessarily, like, maybe the first 3 quarters we played well. I don't even know if the first half in the first game one. I think maybe that third quarter we played well where we actually made shots. And then other than that, I don't necessarily can remember a quarter where we actually made shots, like as a group, which is like, you're not going to win against any team. So it's just that's a little frustrating.
Harden had 2 field goals and 5 turnovers. That's that odd stat about him. Perk, about halfway through the sound, you just put your head in your hands. What do you got for me on Cleveland?
Well, first of all, somebody needs to take their microphones from James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and Kenny Atkinson, because that is embarrassing to hear what they're talking about. You know what? In the playoffs, things are going to be hard. In 2008, we went through 2 7-game series. It's about your mentality. It's about, do you have the will to want? It comes from inside, Scott. And listening to those guys, they're making more excuses than a brother going to jail. Kenny Atkinson comment the other day was the most asinine thing that I've heard in this postseason.
About analytics?
About the analytics. We win the analytics. Yeah. What? What are you talking about? Yeah. How about showing some type of leadership? Donovan Mitchell, where's your leadership? And when I watched their lack of effort in the closeout game tonight on their home court, the New York Knicks had 20 offensive rebounds. Scott, you and I were sitting in the back, and I had to ask you, what they got, 25 dunks?
It felt like
as well. Jalen Brunson actually looked athletic. How many times did we see him push the ball coast to coast and get all the way to the basket? He got out in transition and got a little dunk. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorite players. But again, when you're looking at your leaders, supposed to be leaders, and Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, if you're banking on those 2 guys to lead you anywhere, especially into the promised land, especially after hearing those comments post-game, then you dead bird tall grass.
Interesting offseason. They're going to see what direction they choose to go. We'll talk to Brian Windhorst about that a little later. Perk, we'll see you in New York when we take our show up there for the finals.
I'll be there, Scott.
So we look forward to that always. We appreciate you taking the effort to come to D.C. We'll have plenty more. I mentioned visiting with Brian Windhorst.